And so maybe it's what salespeople really need to hear. And I will put me up against anybody in sales. Anybody. I don't care who it is in the world. I'm that confident not because I think I'm that good. It's just because I have that much experience. I would be a fucking idiot if I didn't pick up on some patterns. 29 years in this industry, okay? Sales industry. And here's what I want everybody to know. Here's what you need to do as a salesperson. That would be, it's not the word that I'm not looking for materialistic, like something that you would have to show on the outside, right? So what I'm really trying to say is that you don't need a nice car. You don't need nice clothes. Like you don't need a nice watch. You don't need a beautiful briefcase. None of that is needed for you to be successful in sales. So whoever's telling you that, they're probably trying to sell you on something, or just they have no other value to bring in terms of content to you, because all they can tell you is buy a fucking car because people are going to like you more, or they're going to think you're successful. Okay? So I'm here to tell you that you don't need to do that. And this is not a joke. You do need to do this. You need to take a fucking bath, because a lot of you sometimes don't take a shower. You need to brush your teeth.
Yeah.
Because you can't be in fucking sales and your breath stinks, because it's just a turnoff for people. This is like real experience I have. Take a shower, brush your teeth, okay? And know your product or service better than the person that you're speaking to. If you
back to basics, right? You always say that.
Back to basics. You have those three things, and then if you can just have the fourth, okay? Which is come to a conversation with a positive mental attitude, meaning on the outside, how does that show? Smile. Because if you can smile, you have a higher probability of influencing someone else's state. Because if someone's having a bad day, or they're just having a very balanced day, like there's just status quo for them in their day, I'm not saying it's going to work every time, but sales is about stacking the cards in your favor. If you're the one who smiled, you have a better shot at possibly that person smiling back. And now the state of the conversation has changed. That's all you need to have. You're looking at a guy. I've never had beautiful cars. Okay. I've never really had like nice suits. I've never had expensive stuff. I have a watch that I never wear, but it was kind of given to me like as a quasi gift. It's the only thing that I have that's really materialistic. And the reason I'm very passionate about this is because I want to get people out of the rat race. And maybe I'm one of my purposes is to get salespeople out of the rat race. And it's because the shit that I get to see sometimes on socials of other people like just talking dumb shit. Like you need to have all these nice things, and that's the only way you're going to get business.
Don't you think it's more for each other they do that? Because like when I really think about any time I've purchased anything, I don't even think I could tell you like, oh, I bought it because the salesperson looked good, or I bought it because the salesperson had a Rolex or a fancy car. Like, I actually almost think that would be a bit of a turnoff in a way. So I can only then imagine that the real reason, if people really, really reflected on why they're buying those things, is not because they're like, I'm going to do more deals because I showed up to my listing appointment in a fancy car. Because most people, let's be honest, you're not selling luxury listings. Like I get that on the luxury side. Okay, sure. The average real estate agent, the average salesperson is selling an average product to the average person. They can't even relate to your car. Most of them don't even know what you're wearing anyways. They don't even know the brands because they're not even in that market. So the real reason you're buying that stuff is for the other salesperson to make you feel good when you show up at the office that other people think you're successful. That's so messed up.
And it's completely messed up. And I think people in general do that anyways. It's not just salespeople, which is like they're buying shit to impress other people. And half the time those other people are people that they don't even know. Like they don't even know each other. They're just trying to impress people, right? So I think that would be a completely different, like we can go 2 hours on that type of episode and that topic. I like what you said about, them doing it for each other, because here's what then actually happens to these real estate agents or salespeople is that they need to keep that going. And that's the stress now that they're actually enduring, because I need to upkeep. I need to keep up with it. I need to pay these payments on these cars. I got to pay these payments on this, penthouse condo, on all the stuff. And
I can't buy a car down. I can't downgrade. What will people think of me?
Exactly. And then what happens is that you can't make the investment into fucking Yas. You can't make the investment into an executive assistant. You can't make the investment into having a buyer agent. You can't make the investment into, there's no way I can pay a VP. There's no way I can pay a VP or pay a director of team operations and have that person take a percentage of my deal because that dollar, call it whatever it is, right? So you make $1 and then the percentage you're going to give to a VP, a director of team operations, a YAS. I need that money because I got to pay somebody off. But what you've just done is now halted your growth in the business, because when you do bring on a YAS, a VP, a director of team operations, you can move a lot quicker. And what you also come to realize, and again, this is talking out of experience, there's probably really, there's no car that's like known as the average car. And so what I'm really trying to say here is that, like, other than I don't know what these Phantoms, Rolls Royce Phantoms and stuff go for, but anything 500,000, south of 500,000, there's no car that I can't go get right now. And it's not going to put me like in a problematic state. I tell you that again, not to impress you, to talk to you about what money I have. I tell you because I've also realized that the fucking novelty wears off so quickly. Like, it's cool for the first 4 months because you're going to drive to the restaurant that your friends are going to be at or your clients are going to be at. But then that shit wears off after a while because you realize. Too, eh? Sorry?
Homes are the same
Homes
too.
Are you
you
come
get
home.
So excited to go into a new home. You hate your current home. You're like, oh, if I had a better home, I'd be happier one day. And then you get the new home and you move in and it's all great. And
I don't think they're homes, Laura. I think those are just houses.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We know, like, a house is a house. It's the structural part of you got your studs, you got your drywall, you got all that stuff and all the furniture. But what makes a home is who's in it. And so I don't even think these are homes. These are just, people have a bunch of houses.
Yeah.
And so the novelty there again wears off. You do some housewarmings and all that kind of stuff. People are like, you have such a beautiful
and
house.
Now you just live there.
And now you just live
with
there.
yourself and whoever else, the same life that you had before. It does wear off.
And